breaking news this Saturday in the Alec Baldwin movie set shooting death. He just answered questions publicly for the first time since the gun he was handling fired a live round, killing Halyna Hutchins, the cinematographer for the movie Rust. CNN's Natasha Chen is in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Natasha, you've just watched the video of Alec Baldwin's comments. Show us what he said.
Yeah, Jim, it was pretty tense. Baldwin stopped in Vermont to talk to paparazzi, taking a lot of time to answer their questions. The whole video is 4 minutes long, and we want to show you the entire thing. Here's what happened.
Let's go.
I will.
What do you want to know?
All right, Ali, what's the current state of what's going on with the case?
I'm not allowed to make any comments because it's an ongoing investigation. I've been ordered by the Sheriff's Department in Santa Fe. I can't answer any questions about the investigation. I can't. It's an active investigation in terms of a woman dying. She was my friend. She was my friend. The day I arrived in Santa Fe to start shooting, I took her to dinner with Joel, the director. We were a very, well-oiled crew shooting a film together, and then this horrible event happened. Now, I've been told multiple times, don't make any comments about the ongoing investigation, and I can't. That's it.
And you met with,
what other questions do you have other than that?
You met with I'm afraid I forget her name in a moment, but you met with her family in the day.
Yes,
her name is Halyna. If you're spending this much time waiting for us, you should know her name. Her name is Halyna.
Halyna Hutchins. I met with her husband Matthew and her son. Yeah, that's right.
And how did that meeting go?
I wouldn't know how to characterize it. They're mortified.
You guys, you know what? No details.
But do me a favor. I'm gonna answer the question.
Well, I appreciate that he was probably very upset.
The guy is overwhelmed with grief. This is something that there are incidental accidents on film sets from time to time, but nothing like this. This is a 1 in a trillion episode. It's a 1 in a trillion event. And so he is in shock. He has a 9-year-old son. We are in constant contact with him because we're very worried about his family and his kid. And as I said, we're eagerly awaiting for the Sheriff's Department to tell us what their investigation has yielded. What else do you have?
Would you ever work on another film set that involves firearms of that nature?
I couldn't answer that question. I really don't have any. I have no sense of that at all. I do know that an ongoing effort to limit the use of firearms on film sets is something I'm extremely interested in. Yeah, where are you? But remember something that I think is important, and that is how many bullets have been fired in films and TV shows in the last 75 years? This is America.
Millions.
How many bullets have gone off in movies? Firearms on film sets is something I'm extremely interested in. Yeah, where are you? But remember something that I think is important, and that is how many bullets have been fired in films and TV shows in the last 75 years? This is America.
Millions.
How many bullets have gone off in movies and on TV sets before? How many billions in the last 75 years? And nearly all of it without incident. So what has to happen now is we have to realize that when it does go wrong, and it's this horrible catastrophic thing, some new measures have to take place. Rubber guns, plastic guns, no real armaments on set. That's not for me to decide. It's urgent. It's urgent that you understand I'm not an expert in this field. So whatever other people decide is the best way to go in terms of protecting people's safety on film sets, I'm all in favor of, and I will cooperate with that in any way that I can.
Do you have any further projects in the works at the moment, or is everything on hold?
No, that's irrelevant to what we're talking about. Yeah,
Do you think production will start up again on?
No, I doubt it necessarily. Was there anything else?
Why Vermont, Alex?
Because
that's
we
no,
just
that's a person. That's private. Yeah, that's private. Anything else?
Okay.
So just do me a favor, you don't mind? My kids are in the car crying.
Because you guys are following
And
them
all I
and
want
they
to do,
know.
as a courtesy to you, I came to talk to you. I'm not allowed to comment on the investigation. I talk to the cops every day. I talk to them every day to find out.
They know where you are.
I'm cooperating with them, of course. So my point is that I'm just asking. We sat down as a courtesy now to talk to you. Now, please, would you just not follow us for the rest of it? Just leave us alone.
Just go home.
We gave
Go
you everything
home.
we could
Thank
possibly
you.
give you, okay?
Thank you.
Go home.
Condolences. Thank you.
Now turn it off.
The woman that you see there standing close to Baldwin with her own cell phone out recording, that is his wife. And you can tell there that they seem to have stopped to talk to cameras because they were continuously followed throughout the weekend since this happened. And so obviously did seem very tense, but at the same time rather courteous. And he did spend the time to answer what questions he could. And you could tell he was very careful not to talk about the investigation, but did mention that he would be supportive of more stringent measures, perhaps to rein in the type of weapons that are used on film sets, Jim.
And Natasha, what is the latest on the investigation? Has anything developed today that would give us some sense as to what led to this just awful situation? I mean, you could hear the pain in Alec Baldwin's voice there. I mean, it sounds like he's frustrated, by the media attention that he's getting no matter where he goes, which is understandable. But people are asking for answers in all of this. Any further developments today to report on?
Not since yesterday, Jim, but you did notice Baldwin did mention that he's talking to the cops every day. That matches what the sheriff's office has told us here. A source telling our colleague Josh Campbell that investigators have been talking to Baldwin. He has answered the phone, willingly answered questions whenever they have had follow-up questions. At the same time, yesterday morning, we heard from the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, for the first time in a statement through her lawyers. The statement said that she has no idea how the live round got onto the set and that safety is her top priority. And in response to that, the sheriff here told CNN last night that he would like to have a follow-up interview with Gutierrez-Reed to clarify some of what she said in that statement, specifically talking more about how live rounds could have possibly gotten on set and to ask about what kinds of safety protocols she was practicing day to day. They also would like to do a follow-up interview with the assistant director. They are still trying to coordinate those follow-ups. And they also did seize a number of weapons on set that was part of a search warrant. It's not clear, though, among the things they gathered, whether live rounds were among the ammunition there, Jim.
All right, Natasha Chen, such an awful situation out there in New Mexico. Thanks for staying on top of it. We appreciate it.